Well, good morning everyone, it's Paul here from Biking Life. How are you all doing on this beautiful morning? It's quite nice and warm this morning, isn't it? 15 degrees, 25 past 7 on Tuesday. And I'm sorry my friends, you didn't get a video at the weekend or yesterday for that matter, and the simple reason is I've had too much on. Been really busy, and sometimes, as you well know, things do take priority, and as anyone who does this as a hobby, he has to take a back seat when things take priority. I had a really good ride out on Saturday, just so you know my friends. I had a good ride out with Derek and Bob. The weather was rather intermittent, it was raining at times, and in places it was shrouded in mist and fog and drizzle and every blooming thing that you can mention. But we did have a lovely fish and chips in Hawes. Butter tubs you couldn't really see much with the mist. But I have made, I've recorded a certain amount of it, and I will be making a video of it, my friends. But it has took a back seat, but it will be getting done this week. What a lovely morning. Nice fresh wind. Beautiful. Whilst I was out on Saturday, it was duly noted, that my rear tyre was virtually bald. Oh dear me. Well, I did look, and yes, it really was virtually bald, I'm afraid. Well, the only reason I thought about it was because it started to twitch in a couple of the damp roads, and I thought, well, that's not normally like this bike. It never really twitches at all. It's quite a confidence-inspiring ride, no matter what the weather. And yet, when I did look, I got the shock of my bloody life. So yesterday, obviously, I went to work. And normally during my dinner time I process and make a video, but I had to go down to the garage and get a new tyre fitted, so I've happily got a new BTO 23 Bridgestone GT fitted on the back. And of course I had to go scrub it in. I didn't film it, I just wanted to have a bit of me time scrubbing this tyre in, and I did that yesterday. And then when I came home, straight in the garden, having to cut the blooming grass and everything, cooking the tea, because the wife was on the 14-hour shift, so I had to make sure the kids were fed, the dog was blooming fed. You know, being part of this rat race is quite blooming draining. I watch a YouTube channel called Two Wheels Big Life or something it's called, and they've completely sold everything in America, and they've been out on the road for a year and a half on bikes, and they're loving it, absolutely loving it, because, and one of the reasons why they went and did this was because they wanted to get away from the rat race, having to pay bills, having to have the weekends you know, turned upside down because of maintenance on the garden, the house, and this, that and the other, you know what I mean, not having time for themselves. So they decided that was it. They're selling up and they're going to go on the road, and they'll stay on the road till they're ready not to be on the road. Oh, absolutely magnificent couple they are. Really nice, because it can take up a fair amount of your time being on you know, having to, you know, your garden's growing all the time, and especially if you've got grass. Yeah. The bike is riding so much smoother with this new tyre on. Absolutely 100% better. So you will be getting this video today, folks, and hopefully now I've caught up with me chores and getting the bike tyre done and this, that and the other, I shall start producing the videos again for you. I am deeply sorry. I know some of you expect a video to come on, and rightly so, because I'm generally reliable. Oh, this is a lovely morning. Lovely morning. The sea's flat calm out there. You won't be able to pick it up. You can see the sea, but you won't see how calm it is. It's gorgeous. Well, dear old Matt Hancock, he got caught, didn't he? And kissing an aide. Dear me. The man's got a wife and 3 children, and she's got a husband and 3 children. How are those poor people going to be feeling? And rightly so, he should have stepped down, the blooming bugger. Man, you don't do that. And Sajid David has come in and said July the 19th is the cut-off point. It is the final. Once we get there, we are losing the restrictions and we are not going back over. We have to learn to live with this. That is like music to my ears. It really is. It's long overdue. We're going to use the remaining time just so we can get there, get more people vaccinated, and we need roughly, I think for the Essex variant and that, they had to be 60% herd immunity, but we're going to try and get as much herd immunity as we possibly can. They're on about stopping kids being sent home to quarantine if one in the school tests positive. They're going to hopefully keep them in school and test them on a daily basis. So, I mean, when you think about it, there's 120,000 kids sent home all the time, or at any one time, who are not getting schooling. You know, it's quite a disruption to the education. And then if they're not at school, and if they're young enough, they're not at school, then the parents have to stay off and home from work to mind them. It's a massive disruption. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes a lot of the parents are not getting paid for it. But you can trigger the payments, COVID payments, even if the school does send your child home. Martin Lewis said that this morning, and he pretty much knows his stuff. What else is there? Well, I can't think of much more, to be honest with you. As I say, I've got the footage to go through for this, for me Hawes, Butter Tubs and Hawes video, and it was a marvellous day. It was thoroughly. We had a lovely fish and chips from aptly named the Chippy in Hawes, and we sat on a bench and ate them afterwards. Yeah, it was lovely, lovely. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So it's Tuesday today. Nice and warm this morning, 16 degrees. When you check the local weather or you ask Alexa, and you'll say, what's the temperature? Currently, she says it's 11 degrees. Well, I think wrong. Currently, it's 16 degrees, my love, with a high of 16, she says. And I thought, wrong, because it's already 16. It's only going to get a little bit warmer. And I reckon we'll see temperatures of around about 20 degrees, 22 degrees. It's a bit more cloudier down the south, in the south, should I say. Wembley might see is it Wembley? Where they're doing the 10. Wimbledon might see a few showers. But mainly it's going to stay dry. So I think we've caught up on today's news, or the news that we know so far. Hope you're all feeling good and refreshed after the weekend. I hope you all got up to something good and enjoyed yourselves. Do you know, quite a few videos ago I mentioned that in Eston Hills there was a Polish bloke, murdered, and we've heard no more about that. I've been searching in the records about it, but there is no more news on that. Obviously the investigation's still ongoing. But it just shows you how sometimes we can solve things pretty rapidly, then other times there's nothing, no more news. It's so good to be on the bike this morning. Yesterday morning I was absolutely cream-crackered again. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me again. I had nothing to say, absolutely nothing whatsoever to say. I just was in a sort of slump. You know, I was like, God, it's not good. It's not good at all. Not when you feel that way. This morning I feel absolutely fine. And now we're 11 days into stopping smoking, so we're doing all right, my friends, and not once have I even given it a second thought. Yes, I mean, I could go racing down there like a lunatic, but there's no point this morning. Oh no, we've come this far, and look, it's clouding over. As long as it doesn't rain, I don't care. Don't want any more blooming rain. The thing was, I had my textiles on when we were out on that horse trip on Saturday. And rightly so, because it was raining quite badly in some places. But I was red hot. The temperature was warm. I was claggy. It was so... Oh, you know what I mean? When you're all claggy, sticky, and it's not nice. It's not a nice feeling. You're feeling too warm. Yeah, I just want to do a big shout out to Crofton Court Motors in Stockton. They are the best motorcycle place I know. They'll do anything for you. Steve, it's a family run business, and they are super nice, and they'll do out for you. They really will. It's a blessing to know them. And absolutely congratulations to Steve's wife, who's just passed her motorbike test. She's now a fully fledged biker. So a big shout out to them. You know, I mean, every time I ring them up, nothing's too much trouble. They'll go out the way to help. So happy days. I'll come over this side because we're hitting a roundabout. I want to take the roundabout on the inside. On the outside, well, the inside of the roundabout. I don't know whether it's the bloody outside or the inside. On the inside. This is the inside. I do come out with some shite. Sorry for swearing. Well, I'm going to start looking into getting another car and try and keep the miles off Big Red. I mean, so far he's done 54,000 should I say, 874 miles. So 54,800 miles is when we had the tyre changed. So we'll keep a note of that and see how many miles we are getting out of these tyres, considering we're commuting every day on them and using them to get out on our little tours. Well, we seem to have scrubbed them tyres in quite nicely, actually. supposed to take our time when you do scrub them in, hence why I went out yesterday so I could get them a little bit scrubbed in. I didn't go far, don't get me wrong, I just went to a few places with some nice bends so we could get the most of that rubber scrubbed in to give us maximum grip. Well, anyway folks, we're not too far from work and I am going to cut it short here. I'm going to say bye for now, and hopefully I will get those hauls and videos done at some point this week. I might even save them for the weekend because I'm not going out riding this weekend. I am staying home. So anyway, I will say ta-ra. I've been Paul from Biking Life, my friends. Bye for now. Bye.